Gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure speaking to both of you today on the occasion of the 200-year anniversary of the Hennessy VSOP, which I believe is the occasion for this visit, for which we're all grateful. And both of you were giving me very interesting dynamics around the longevity of the brand, what it means to people. And of course, Roch has just told me that you're in fact cousins.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, as eight generations.
We are both 8 generations. His great-grandfather and mine were brothers.
Yes. And close?
They were brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Close, not politically, but they were brothers, and so they liked each other like brothers.
Yes.
But I think politically they had a bit of fighting, yes.
They were of different political
because
stripes.
Yes, and Johnny, his great-grandfather, went far. He was a representative of France at the SDN.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the, it says, one of the founder of Europe, EU. In his mind, certainly, he had a newspaper.
Really?
He was very important. A book has been written on him. My great-grandfather was more interested in what's happening before World War I, between the two wars, and he always was telling the story of one day the Minister of Finance of France telling him, Hennessy, but do you use these things they call checks?
Yes.
And he was the Minister of Finance. He didn't know that there was checks. So James Hennessy told him, but of course we use that every day. I mean, you know, we are traders. Is that serious money, or is that... It's like as if, you know, somebody, I suppose, today would ask about bitcoins.
Yes.
But for him, it was like bitcoins.
Roch, as you've come now back into the business, and you've now been, you've moved to China as the business development officer, exciting market. You told me it's the second biggest market. What's exciting you about this visit to Africa, and what's exciting you about China today?
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 different markets, you know. Like I would say Africa is a bit the last frontier of the Hennessy presence, you know, and deployment across the globe. China will be present since the 19th century, since 1859.
Are you serious?
That was the first shipment that came by boat in Shanghai on the Bund, and it's really like a legacy market for us, I would say. And Africa is a very dynamic market for us. We see this rising middle class, this educated consumers.
But quite a young population, right?
A very young population, which is also what is really interesting, because there's a population that's really connected. You know, the digital plays a big role in it. So it's very promising for us. You know, personally. It's the second time in Kenya. I came when I was 8 years old. It was my first trip. It was a gift, a wonderful gift, which I would never forget, and I could remember clearly going to the Masai Mara. You know,
you remember it?
Yeah, I remember clearly.
Are you getting time to visit this time?
No, unfortunately not. You know,
you must come back.
But I promised to go with my wife and my daughter when she's a bit older to go there, because I remember I had like almost like a holistic experience. You know, with the beauty of the country and just the welcoming of the people, and it was just great, and it's still engraved, you know, in my memory over even after all these years, you know. So it's very, very happy to be back here.
Thank you. We're glad to have you here. Maurice, describe to me the flavor in that VSOP in your mind, you know.
Well, the Hennessy VSOP was created for a future king.
Yes.
So it must have some majesty, some elegance.
It's a majestic drink.
It's at least elegant. It's aged in old wood, in old barrels, which means that it's not so woody, because the wood has given away already a lot of woodiness. So it's lighter, subtle. I would find a little bit of vanilla in it, and maybe a nice smell of spring flowers. It's not a cognac which would be very strong and like Hennessy XO, which would be very woody and spicy. It's more delicate, beautiful to have it like that, Beautiful to have it with ice cubes, but I recommend very cold ice cube which won't melt too fast. What is nice is to have it frappé, very cold, but not washy.
And you were describing to me earlier how you drink it, and you were saying it depends on your mood.
Yeah, it depends on the day I had in the office. Yeah, that's exactly. But it's true that I personally VSOP for me is a particular place in the range because it's a very versatile cognac. You know, it's a cognac that can be like neat on the rocks or mixed. So because it's so supple, because it's a generous cognac as well, you know, like it gives a lot with all those aromas and flavors of, as Maurice described it, of vanilla and jasmine, white flowers. It's very, very interesting. There's something happening in the glass, and it's a new tasting experience every time you have it, you know. So it's great. Sometimes it even varies with the company, you know. Like you can feel different things with the company or your mood, as you said. So a very, very special place in our range, definitely. Very successful.
Maurice, you're sitting here, both of you, the eighth generation of the family. A unique position. I can't think of any company, I was saying earlier, that has had that longevity. Has been able to not conquer, but has been able to, be appropriated by so many different consumers all over the world. What for you is the secret?
Oh, I don't know if there's a secret.
Obviously, it's a quality product.
A huge amount of work, and the luck we have is to have had the same family of blenders since the early 19th century, which has warranted a great quality because they have been always very demanding, and constant quality, which means that our consumers were happy with us. I never seen a consumer unhappy with a bottle of Hennessy, except if he bought a fake one.
Is that a problem?
Well, in China it can be, yes.
Yes, because it's an expensive product, right? So yes. And for you, if you were to answer that same question, Roch?
I would say it's from the really beginning, like a vision, a clear vision of where our forefathers wanted to take the company. You know, it was a company dedicated to export, to opening new markets, to listening to different cultures, to be open-minded about different cultures, adapting also the product and the range toward the ways of drinking of the culture, being present and being really listening to the consumer and definitely continue that longevity with this particular vision of success, of future. And they've been able to do it, as Maurice said, because of also the 8th generation of master blender, and also because of the general vision and launching the product at the right time for the right consumer.
It's been a pleasure speaking to both of you gentlemen, and we look forward to imparting some words of wisdom to your dinner guests today. And we're really excited to be here, and thank you for coming to Kenya for this visit, and on this 200th year anniversary of a 250-year-old business. Am I right? Well, it's not a business. It's I don't know, what would you describe it as?
It's a business, a company.
It is, yeah, but
it's something more than it's more venerable than that, right? I mean,
it is a maison, you know, maison.
It's a maison
in France.
A 250-year-old maison,
you know, and everybody's part of it, and we all part of the Hennessy family, you know, when we work for Hennessy, because we feel this sense of belonging to this beautiful maison.
And for this day, we also feel a part of the maison. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Maurice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You must
and
come and
thank
see
you.
us one day.
We will.